The third part of your question was about the public image. I don't know what you do about a public image except for you identify what your problems are, you put them on the table, you tell your public what your problems are, and you fix them. You work on it. You can spend all the money on marketing that you want, but the best PR comes from our students, number one. So if we treat them well, they'll speak well when they go out in the community about their teachers and their school, and our employees. And if we treat them well, they'll speak well of the district and enjoy doing it. The marketing, you could put billboards up from here to New Orleans and to Shreveport, and nobody will believe it. So it starts with just a basic tenement of respect. It starts with the basic tenement of, and my hardest job in my district right now is because the media will focus on the negative stories for 3 or 4 weeks. We have a school that was ranked 25th best high school in the nation, 5th best in the country, and we can have a fight on TV and it gets more emphasis than what children are doing good. So when children get beat down all the time saying these kids are lost and they hear that time and time and time again, what do you think they do? They get disgusted. And when teachers and our principals hear time and time again, when they are working miracles with children every day, that the school system is failing and they know it's not failing, you know, the hardest part is for a superintendent, central office, board of education, and the public to let these teachers know and support them that they're not failing, that they're working magic every day. And that's the task that we have.
I've been at the ADF lunches and here the past couple of days, and I've been having a world of trouble trying to figure out how decisions made at the superintendent level trickle down to the school level and to the classroom. So I was hoping that you could walk me through, step by step, how the leadership you will provide will A, help to improve the culture of our low-performing schools so that students feel that they are more supportive, and B, how it will improve the level of instruction in the classroom.
Well, I think it all boils down to one word, or 2 words. Communication, I think, is key. Nobody can read anybody's mind, so you have to talk. The other part is accountability. Everyone seems to focus on the superintendent. The fact is the superintendent can do many things, but a lot of things does not filter to the classroom. You've got to have a competent central office staff that works with our principals. You've got to have competent central office staff that works with our teachers. And when I say competence, I'm looking for 2 things. I'm looking for competence in terms of core knowledge, but I'm also looking for integrity. Integrity to be fair, integrity to be honest, particularly about the way our work looks. And if our work doesn't look good in the classroom or in central office, we have to admit that. So that's about the only way I know how to do it. It's you know, we identify our problems and we're going to hold people accountable for getting those things done. Part of holding people accountable is also giving people who are struggling the support. You give them the support, not just to document that I'm trying to fire you, but we're trying to make you better, and we're going to support you. And if you give us the effort, then you'll be successful. If you're incapable of doing it, or you refuse to do it for lack of effort, then you need to find other employment. I don't know, that's a hard question to answer like a lot of them. And you know, you can sit here tonight and speculate, but I want to guarantee you one thing, that I'm not going to surprise you. If I'm selected as your superintendent, I'm answering questions the same way I'm answering them a year from now. And the most important thing you're doing right now is decide who you're going to pick for this job. And I don't put on a show, and I'm not going to say something to get a job because I don't have to look at the paper. I said it today. I don't have to look at the paper in the morning, look at TV to know who I am. I know exactly who I am and what I'm about. And every day I'm going to be about the same thing. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but until you get on the job and you look at what you have, it's hard to say what you're going to do.
Could you please tell them what your greatest strength as a leader, as a principal, and as a superintendent?
Tough question. My greatest strength is just my love and passion for people, I think. Growing up poor, family of 4, brothers, 4 sisters, dad illiterate, mom had about a 3rd grade education. Poor but rich, because my family taught me the character traits that I live by today. But there were so many people whose shoulders that I stand on, teachers, ministers, that just brought me up all the way through. I just feel like it's a calling for me to give back. And I do this because I'm passionate about it. And when you're passionate about something, I think people know it. You don't have to fake it. And I couldn't have paid for a better testimony today. Thank you. Very much supportive of the Gifted and Talented program. We had a chance to go to
Westfield Middle School.
I know you're ready to kill me. It's been a long day, but I was just blown away. We went to the GT programs over there, and just to see kids taking a course and speaking a whole different language. Not even, it's impressive, and I'm in full support of that. Yes, sir.
How do you feel about volunteers in the schools, and what are the concrete ways in which you would demonstrate support for increasing the level of volunteers in our schools?
We've been on a mission in Montgomery to get 1,000 mentors for our middle school. And I'm a firm believer that we need volunteers in schools. However, I think that sometimes we run over ourselves when it's not organized and when it's not purposeful. So I like to work with our building principals to know who's coming into the schools and a way to organize it. So I love it, but it has to be coordinated and it has to have some purpose. Okay? Absolutely.
What would be your philosophy to assure that the schools with the greatest need will receive the principals and staff with the greatest expertise?
Well, my philosophy is I want star principals and staff in every school. And it's hard to say who's the best, okay? The best principal at one school may not be the best principal at school B. And that's just a fact. I think the toughest thing for superintendents and central offices and boards of education to do is to look at qualifications of principals and look at the needs of the school and try to have a good match for the needs of the school with the qualification of the principals. I've seen some principals who have gone from one school and was very successful and went to another school and were not as successful, were not successful at all. So it's hard to know what best is. We have some principals right now that may be working in low performing schools that are excellent, okay? With a lot of things and a lot of issues to deal with, that they may just need some additional support from the superintendent or the board of education. But it's hard to say what's best. It really is.
There seems to be a practice, it's my perception that there's a practice that the schools with the greatest need are somehow neglected in this parish. So I would like to see a superintendent who will make sure that the schools with the greatest needs receive those people with the greatest expertise. Oftentimes you have the best school that have the best, who have the best of everything, which they really don't need the best. So I'm looking for some equity in terms of capital.
Well, I believe in equity, but again, it goes back to depending on what you're judging. If you're looking at school performance scores, I mean, there's just too many things to say. Who's the best? We need strong principals in every school, and I certainly would be an advocate to put them in schools that need a higher challenge. That's what I've done all my life. Is I chose to go to those type schools.